How's it going, guys? It's Flux here. Welcome back to Rhinestone Island. And as you guys can see, I've done a little bit of work on our highway system down this way. And as I said before, I was going to kind of start planning so we can have kind of a future location down this way and connect this little road down here, which will give us a prison, which is fantastic. Again, I actually want to go back and probably do some detail work and kind of make this whole island look pretty nice, because right now it's kind of just like the bare minimum. I just like threw the stuff down, didn't really do anything else to it. So I'll probably do some foliage, some rocks, all that cool stuff, make it look really nice. But as of now, anyway, we have this whole thing connected now. We've got a connection point, and I've also gone and made a little interchange over here on this side, which I'm actually pretty proud of. I think it's kind of cool. All this visible stuff is just for the entry points. So we have one entry point on this side that comes up here and immediately goes over this way and becomes kind of just like this 6-lane avenue over here with little split offs in different kind of various locations here, as well as the back over on this side. And the same thing happens over on this side, and both of them have their own little exit ramps. So if you're coming from this side, you could still take the exit ramp over here, come around this way, and end up on this side. Same thing with over here. So basically, both of these entry points are accessible from either side, which is pretty awesome. And then for the exit kind of points, I just you can't actually see them right now, but underground here we have let me grab it real quick. We've got these little tunnels here, one on this side and then one on this side. I'm going to probably have the exit points kind of somewhere over here and over here, which is like away from the entry points and near this little avenue here, or these avenues on this side. This one will probably go like much further over on this side, because I actually have an exit point that's going to come over here and split and kind of service this whole area on this side. But I did some testing, and I found out that, because I was kind of worried about this, what I didn't want to have happen is I didn't want to have any traffic taking this little exit here, hopping on this road and kind of taking a shortcut to get over to the main city instead of, going through our big interchange over on this side. And it turns out this is slow enough that it doesn't actually cause any problems there. So that's good to know. But yeah, I just wanted to make this a simple little interchange here. You can see this is the other exit actually on this side, and this one that goes over here. This one's actually kind of just like connecting to our existing system over here, which is the whole like trash and incinerator section. Now, I'm not really entirely thrilled with the location of this. It's kind of like weird. It's right there in the middle of this area, but I think I'm going to do some terraforming and a little bit of tree work to kind of mask this whole area, make it kind of like, I don't know, separated from everything else over here on this side. But I'm kind of planning to still go for a relatively dense, packed kind of area over here. It's not going to be full high density. It's going to be similar to this area over here. It's going to be the high-rise band cap on this side as well. But it's still going to be pretty dense. And same with kind of all this stuff all through here, which should be the same. And then I think once we get beyond this area over here, that's when we're going to start getting some pretty spread out kind of suburbs and things like that. Maybe some nice little, I don't know, neighborhoods and things down this way, something like that. But that's the plan for that. I just kind of want to lay out the main avenues and stuff first of all, so we could just have that all ready to go. But I left this right here with this because I wanted to start planning out how we're going to do the rest of this area over here. As you can see, I have our entry point on this side. I kind of engineered this in a way where we wouldn't have any zoning happening on this main road, of course, because it's a one-way. That'd be pretty disastrous for anybody who took residency over in this area. So instead, we have like roads immediately after that will allow for buildings to grow without it actually being zoned on this road itself. And then, of course, it all connects this way. But let's go ahead and get started here. Let's just start the zoning process. Now, I think I want to think about where we're putting these exit points as well while we do this, but for the most part, it's going to be pretty simple here. I think we'll try and find some roads we may want to continue. I think this is going to be one of them here. It's kind of like a staple. It kind of, follows this whole curve. And I was trying to do that with these avenues. I wanted to kind of create these nice, cool, defined curved lines. And then we just kind of start, creating all of these grids and things based off of them, which kind of turns out pretty well, I usually think anyway. So let's go ahead and bring this one out here. And in this one, I actually almost want it to continue. Like, I think it'd be cool if it went from here and then it curved again and followed it, and eventually kind of came up to here. So why don't we do that? That's kind of cool, actually. Let's do that. So this will be the end of it, because this is a one-way street. I actually used the same technique I did before in the past. So these are all one-ways that are going off away from this main one-way street here, and what that does is it basically just prevents any stoplights from forming, except for right here at the end, of course. So then we kind of have some nice distribution without any, you know, stopping and all that stuff, which is kind of annoying sometimes. So that's good to see. Same thing on this side, obviously. But oh yeah, this one's kind of weird, actually. I ended up creating another 6-lane that goes this way, just because I kind of wanted to have this road feel like it's continuing down this way and then stopping over here. But I couldn't have this just connect directly here. It'd be a pretty big intersection right there. So just kind of brought this one over here like that. But anyway, let's go ahead and bring this road all the way down here. I'm going to go to there. I'll actually connect this real quick. There we go. That's a pretty good place to start the curve, I think. So, let's see, I think about there is relatively even. Let's see how that looks. That's about even. I mean, that's not correct, but there we go. It's perfect. Awesome. There's our continued curve then, which I think is kind of cool. I kind of like this look of like parallel lines that kind of all curve off on their own angles and kind of come back to each other. It's kind of cool. Trying to follow that style kind of throughout this city over here, so we'll try and stick with that. But over here we have an opportunity actually to okay, I forgot to put this here. That might have to move. Let's see. We have an opportunity though, because this is still straight, to create a few grid lines kind of following this. Oops, for some reason that's not gonna play nice though. That's kind of weird, actually. I wonder why that is the case. Let me try something else. Oh, I know why. The curve starts here. That's why. It's actually kind of a pretty arbitrary curve point, so I'm not gonna worry about that. I'm gonna redraw that curve real quick. Let me just go all the way out here first. Wait, actually, let me go back and draw the whole thing again. So we go to there. Now we should be able to do, there we go, a nice straight line. And I'm probably not gonna continue it this way, just because I don't want to, you know, I've kind of recognized now that creating these like rhombuses here, where you have like two, you know, it just doesn't work very well. You end up just having like a lot of unzonable area. So we'll let that be. Like you can see, it happens all the time in these corners here, where you get some weird buildings. You know, it kind of adds personality to the city, definitely. But if you have like a whole area full of rhombuses, like I kind of have over here, you start to get some kind of weird growth. So I'm gonna try and avoid doing that too much if we can here. Actually, I think a surprising number of cars going this way. I guess they're going off to the prison and back or something. I think there's some trash trucks too. So it looks like it's just. I really don't know what these guys are doing though. What's this guy doing? Oh, he works at the nuclear power. Oh, really? So apparently we can actually have workers down here, and because I didn't have this connected at all, so I guess for a long time they were like operating, but they didn't have any workers. I don't really know how that was working, actually. I'm kind of honestly surprised that even worked, but all right, that's cool. So anyway, start the curve like directly off of that. So we'll do about there. Wow, that was perfect. Look at that. I just eyeballed it, and that was like exactly what it needed. Okay. Cool. And I think this should actually pass behind, right? Oh, it's going to be... Yeah, it passes behind. We're good. So we'll go all the way down to here. This is a... Yeah, this is an exit point, I guess. Wouldn't really make a lot of... I think this will just create more congestion. I'm not really going to do that, actually. Maybe a little walkway, though. That'd be kind of nice. I keep forgetting I don't have the walkways from Traffic Plus Plus. We got to use our own. That's alright, though. I kind of want to make it right in the middle of the two grids, like so. And we'll do some nice little... I'll probably do some nice landscaping pretty soon. I usually just like kind of wait on the landscaping for live stuff, then I'll probably just do like a big live stream later and tackle a bunch of landscaping that I've been wanting to do for a while. So... There's our little walkways next to the university. And I love how the university is right next to the science center. I think it's really cool. I don't know. I think the science center is like prime location. Like I think it looks super cool with these rocks everywhere. And I really gotta say, I love these rocks. I think that the guy who made the rocks actually he saw the screenshots I posted on Twitter, and I think he replied to those. And I don't know. I don't know if he watches the videos or not, but I really like the rocks. I really like the rocks. So excellent job on that. They're really, really cool. I definitely talked about them a lot last episode, so I won't dive into my love for these rocks anymore, but they're awesome. Okay, oh yeah, I actually want to just, I don't know, this has been bothering me for a while. Let's just do that. I mean, I know it's an exit point, but I keep forgetting to change that. Okay. So, for this one, you know, I actually almost want to maintain this road, because I kind of feel like it starts to imply this curve here. So why don't we do this and then follow our pattern of creating this like parallel roads that split. So I think it's kind of a cool thing to do. I'll try that. Go to, oh, that's one too many. Perfect. Alright, so far so good. And then, yeah, this is where it gets a bit tricky because we have a lot of curves in a row now. So you got to be careful about doing that too much. I think we're okay though, for now anyway. And I am keeping an eye on this area because, like I said, we did kind of create a shortcut location for these guys. So I wouldn't be too disappointed if a few of them were, you know, going this way to cut out the use of this interchange. But I don't want everybody to be using this because then it kind of defeats the purpose of this interchange, and then we get too much congestion over here on this side. It's supposed to mainly service this area. That was the idea. So, and that really is like the core of this game. I mean, people like ask all the time, you know, how do you prevent traffic? And really, the only thing that you really need to do is just have like plenty of different locations for traffic to exit and conjoin with the city and then go back to the highway again. If you put too much stress on one location, that's where the traffic happens. It's really just the weakest link. That's the idea. So anyway, I'll just go ahead and keep making a few grid lines through here. In fact, this whole thing could just be a nice solid grid, I think. Maybe a few curve pieces to give some personality to it, and actually I'm gonna go ahead and do what I do in a few other locations too, and just do an every other approach to this, so we don't have too many roads intersecting in a row with this avenue here, just to kind of prevent traffic. So that's good. You know, I kind of want to have, let's see here. Is this... Okay, good. We can make these intersections. So let me try something real quick. Now I've got a new idea. If we can make this road work. I just wanted to add a bit of a different road to this area, so it's got some more personality. I don't know. That might have honestly just made zoning a nightmare for no reason. Because now we got all this weird stuff going on. Yeah, maybe not the best plan of action there. Let's cut back on that real quick. Yeah, I like this solid zoning location much better. I'm kind of just like avoiding this area over here, to be honest with you. It's definitely going to be interesting. Maybe we'll just go for it and do a couple non-snap tool drawings here and just see what it looks like. I want it to be close enough together we can have more than just a couple. So maybe do this and then that. That's good. That's cool. I like that shape. Kind of like that funnel. Okay. That's cool. That's perfect. And I think this is kind of like around the university. It'd be kind of cool to have some like unique roads and interesting housing over here. So maybe we could have a few... Ooh, you know, I wanted to add the swim club. I keep forgetting about this building. It's actually really, really cool. Especially at night. But I feel like having a swim club near the university would make a lot of sense. So See if we can fit this thing in somewhere. And actually, yeah, let me think about this a little bit more. I don't want to just throw it down yet. Ooh. Let's see if we can get this to work. That's a little bit too tight, actually. I don't think this looks very good. Yeah, never mind. Yeah, kind of hard to tie this area in with all these weird curves going on. And we could always just kind of go with it, do some freeform stuff. I don't know if this is going to work out very well or not, but let's just give it a shot anyway. Worth a try, I guess. And actually, that's not too bad. That looks pretty good. Okay, I'll go with that. Maybe we'll even connect this middle one here, just for some extra... Yeah, that's good. I enjoy that. So obviously we're going to get some kind of spotty zoning through here. That's kind of to be expected, though. I actually don't mind, like I said, you know, interesting housing and all that stuff. It's not a big deal if that's happening over here. Doesn't always have to be, you know, the straight grid. And then anyway, the swim club, though, where are we going to fit that one in? Maybe I think I had a few different buildings that would kind of fit nicely over here. Maybe we'll throw some like educational buildings in general over here. I got rid of all my custom ones though, because like pretty much all of those university buildings that I used to have in Fluxburg are not updated for the new game, which kind of sucks. So we gotta just go with it. You know, I actually kind of think it would look cool to have like high school, elementary school, like that. And then throw in the swim club. I love this tennis club too. I just don't know if it fits well over here or not. I mean, actually, it kind of looks pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. Maybe we can have it. Yeah, it doesn't fit very well right there because of that weird angle we got. Yeah. Tricky. You know what, let's rethink this curve here, because I think we can make something cooler out of this area than that. And actually, if a tennis club right here, I think would be a pretty prime location for that, because then we can have the tennis club there, but the swim club here is kind of like a nice, you know, we got all the amenities, the facilities are looking pretty nice, you know what I mean? Maybe we'll throw the, ooh, this is going to work well. So we're going to have that there. This is a pretty fun university to attend, I'm not going to lie, that would be pretty sweet. Got the hotel with the pool with the slide. In a pretty cool location, actually. And then this is going to fit perfectly some large skyscraper. Well, I don't know about skyscrapers. We'll probably throw in some, you know, restricted buildings, but still large buildings. And then we've got the tennis club there. Let's throw down a swim club. Or maybe something, you know, a nice amenity somewhere. Let's see what else we have. Yeah, probably just a swim club. Alright, not gonna fit there. Let me see if I can draw some roads that might make sense here. Because probably need some parking regardless, that would make sense. I'm gonna draw this. It's not gonna go here. Well, maybe it will actually, we'll see. I'm surprised I can put a road there. Actually, it looks kinda nice though. I like that. Wow, it lines up perfectly with these little flower bins, actually. That's not gonna work, though. Okay, hang on a minute. We'll take this out here. I'm just trying to make some roads that would maybe make sense if there was a parking lot back here or something, you know? You'd probably do something like that. Maybe not. I don't want to mess up that curve too much. Let's see. What about... Man, this is tricky. Let's figure out the swim club first. I actually think that's a kind of a cool spot right there. Maybe we can get it to fit here. No, I don't want to draw a road that far out, though. Yeah, alright. Swim club can go there. Very nice amenities through here. This whole area, wow, it's pretty Pretty fancy. Okay. I'm enjoying that. That's cool. So we got all the nice stuff over here. I'm just going to go, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do this. I'm going to draw this one in here. I'm not going to have it go any further. It's a dead end right there. And then we're going to have this one connect back to the main road. Like so. Perfect. Alright, that's nice. I like that. Could actually even delete this one here. I wish I had bus lane 2-lane roads. I mean, it doesn't really matter, but it would look cool. But let's do some walkways then, since we have some extra space through here. Just kind of make it all look good. I think I'm gonna go again with the split approach. We'll split the grid like that, and then I'm just gonna kind of follow along the back of these buildings over here, these soon-to-be buildings anyway. There we go. We could actually probably draw. Oh, maybe not. Yeah, let's rework this then. I want this to be like perpendicular to this road here. Okay, let me just redraw this curve then. In fact, let me redraw all of this because I want to have this come out. Oops. This should actually come out past, yeah, to like here. So we can do this as well. To about there. I'll draw this one out real quick. Boom. Awesome. Alright, there we go. Nice little park through here. Don't want to mess up this curve if I can help it. Oh yeah, I can actually just not connect it and have it auto-connect like so. Sweet. Okay. So like I said, I'll come back and do some, you know, some landscaping and stuff to fix all this up. But actually, you know what we should do? I think this is a really good place to just have, you know, lots of accessibility via walking. Just because, you know, there's schools around here. It just kind of makes sense to have lots of walkways, I think. So, let's do this. We'll draw one right here. Well, that's a pretty inconvenient place to have a walkway. It's going to break up all these buildings over here. Maybe not on that one, actually, but for that, that's good. Awesome. Lots of walkways. That's what I like to see. Yeah, pretty good use of that space, too. I think that kind of like worked out pretty well. It makes this university feel more justified. It's not just like a little individual building now. It's like a whole complex, which I like. And I'll have to go look and see if there's any more of those like university buildings, because I already liked how those looked in Fluxburg. So we'll take a look at that. But anyway, we need to do some more zoning, and I think, okay, I'm gonna look at this again real quick. Did a lot of residential over here, but I think I was trying to make this all feel like a nice, kind of like a nice part of town, which it is, and it's got this university right next to it over here. So we should definitely have commercial along this avenue, because it's kind of like a main avenue. But I think residential around this area would make a lot of sense, definitely. So let's go ahead and do that. I'll speed it up a little bit as well. Throw some down here, and then let's see. I'm gonna do residential and commercial. Now I know obviously it creates noise complaint problems. I've kind of gotten over this at this point. I usually just kind of mix them because it really does. I mean, I try my best to try and not put the commercial too close to the residential, but honestly, in the end, the noise complaints aren't a huge deal. Usually it doesn't really like, I mean, it's pretty easy to still have them upgrade even if they're complaining about noise. and in the end, it just like makes more sense a lot of the times to have them next to each other. So I'm not really too concerned about that. I know it's not the most ideal thing for the game, but for my purposes, I'm not too concerned about it. Okay, so I guess the next big question is, are we going to try to have this road follow this road? And I think that should happen. I think we should try and have this one. Let me see if I can draw this correctly. I think this is where the curve starts, right here. So I'll have these two kind of meet up. That actually looks like it's going to work perfectly. Let's try. Boom. All right. Easy enough. I'm just going to go ahead and continue these. They're kind of cool, even though they're probably going to create some super weird zoning later on. Whatever. I like that. That looks good. And this is all still beachside. Obviously, I have some power lines that will not be there for very long. Once we get all this stuff zoned in, I'm just going to have them connect probably right here. But that's all temporary because I had to delete the ones that were going over this way while we're working on this stuff. But cool. Yeah, so right now we're still getting probably a lot of people. Oh, actually, some of them are coming in this way. The only thing is we don't have any exits over here yet, so we're getting probably quite a bit of traffic, people going into the city to get to the exits. So we will definitely be fixing that. But another thing to note is we don't have any public transportation yet. We don't have any buses. We don't have any lines set up for the metros. So that should definitely reduce traffic quite a bit when we do all that stuff. I'm kind of still holding off on that. I know I said I was going to do it fairly soon, but I don't really feel like putting down bus lines if I'm going to change them later. Like I just want to do it all when we've got like a nice solid foundation already built. So I'll do that. Now, I don't really know, well, actually, hang on a minute. I was about to say this feels like an office space kind of area, but honestly, I don't know how I feel about that. Because this is pretty prime residential space. In fact, I think we should go with residential over here. It just feels like a, ooh, do I have water, by the way? Okay, good. Yeah, it just feels like a place where we'd want to have lots of residential. You definitely want to live right next to the beach, you know, prime real estate over here. And then we've got, you know, the city's right here, but you're not like immediately in the city. And you've got direct access to this little area over here, which is very cool, by the way. Yeah, I definitely want to live somewhere over here. So we'll do some residential stuff. Some quirky houses coming in with this weird zoning that's happening because of these little spikes. I don't know, like visually though, I think it looks pretty cool. I like how some of these colliding roads look from overhead. Which is honestly something I've kind of I don't know, when I first started playing this game, I really had a problem with creating things like this. Like it bothered me if it wasn't that functional. But now, as I'm seeing that it doesn't really matter that much. I mean, it's not going to create that much traffic or you know, cause too many problems with the whole, you know, zoning thing, as long as it's, you know, done intelligently and you still have, you know, plenty of outlets for the traffic and all that stuff. You can kind of do stuff like this that just looks visually cool from a distance. But anyway, I'll keep zoning houses along this thing too. Why not? And I just can't get over how awesome it is to finally play this game in full speed again. Like I used to have to turn that off because of Traffic++, and it's so nice to have it on again. It's so great. I'll keep doing the residential through here. Right, but on this side I want to do a little bit of commercial, since it's alongside the main avenue over here. So there we go. A couple little shops here and there, nothing too big. And then office space. Alright. Maybe some offices back here, actually. That would kind of make sense. A little buffer between the commercial and the residential. So awesome. And this is definitely supplying us with plenty of cargo. We had kind of a cargo problem a little bit for a little while when we didn't have any other access points, but now we are totally covered on cargo. We've got, this thing is totally busy. It's always got new ships coming in. Actually, I love to watch this. Let's go ahead and just like watch this. I think it's really cool to have a system like this work and be able to just like watch it happen. So you see the train comes in, we got the train move in this way, train goes directly to our other system. Across all that stuff, and then down here, underground, it's looping around this way. Gonna come out on this side over here. And there we go. And then all these guys pop out this way and go straight to our underground network over here. And they all split off their separate ways and go and service the town. It's actually pretty evenly split, surprisingly. A lot of them are going this way or this way. And it kind of prevents the traffic in the middle here, because you don't have to go this way and then cross over here, or go this way and cross over this way. Obviously, there's still traffic. You know, it's a big city, and we don't have any buses or public transportation yet. So obviously that's going to happen, but not nearly as bad as it could be. So that's good to see. Surprisingly, pretty balanced RCI as well, which is also good to see. Now, why don't we go ahead and do a little bit more with this, get the grid going a bit more, and then yeah, we'll see what happens. But I think I want to kind of wrap up this whole angle we got going on here. It's cool, but now it's just a little bit annoying to work with. Let me try making some roads in this direction. It'd actually be cool to get this to, yeah, here we go, to continue this way. Alright, so we're getting down to it. We're getting down to these weird shapes now we gotta work with. And actually, I kind of like how this is. Whoa, that's weird. What's up with all these, like, misaligned portions? I think that's due to that weird road we built this way earlier on. I'm just gonna go ahead and do this real quick to try and fix it. Sometimes this works. We'll see. Oh, maybe not. I think it's just the way it's drawn. Maybe if I do this. Yeah, there we go. That fixes it. I don't even know why that happens. It's kind of weird. It's weird misalignments. Oh, actually, this is the problem here. And boom. Oh. I think I just due to this weird road. That's fine. Anyway, any more connections this way? I actually kind of like the way this is working. I don't really want to make anything else through here. So maybe we can find a use for this little empty space. I'm going to leave it like that for now. Maybe maybe we'll find some unique building that fits well there, or another use for it, or something else in the future. And you can always do like green spaces, but I don't know. I kind of like the idea of having green spaces in like specific locations that really can't have anything else, and then you know, off the sides of a city as well, instead of just having like this random blocked out area that's just like green space. People always want me to make like the whole New York Central Park kind of thing. I don't know. I think it looks better if you put it in like naturally occurring gaps in the city. So anyway, we'll figure this area out later on. But for here, yeah, this is definitely a weird little area to work with. That's for sure. That is just weird. Man. I don't even know what we could do with this. It's just so weird. You can always draw this line down this way. Oops. So you get that one in. We have one go this way again. Like that. Okay, this is working. Maybe just one more like that. Just go back and forth. I suppose that works just fine. Yeah, that's good. I'm gonna just leave this for later on. Awesome. Okay, so I think we're good for now. Nice little expansion of a city there. I'll probably do a bit of what we just did now off camera, just to kind of get this stuff going a bit more. And then, man, I'm not really looking forward to dealing with this area. We're gonna have to find a way to make this look nice. I think I'm gonna probably do some kind of like privacy hills, you know, like we'll do some terraforming around here to kind of seclude this from the rest of the city, and we'll see what we can do about that. But I think we'll make it all work in the end. It's going to be good, and we're definitely starting to kind of move away from this like super dense grid. So once we kind of get these grids going here, we get this area expanded out so we can start doing some more abstract and like organic stuff to kind of make the whole city feel like it's fading out. But I'm definitely enjoying the way this city is growing now. I think it looks pretty cool. I actually kind of forgot we have to give attention to this area too, because I mean that'll come whenever this area starts developing. It's kind of weird. We got quite a few loose ends, just like areas where we're gonna have to start making connections. You know, over here, you know, over here. We've also got to worry about the getting this train to work out on this side. In fact, I might actually make a direct line that splits off of this and goes straight over here. That way we could have, that would actually be much faster than the cargo trucks going through here, and that would probably be used quite a bit for this area, which would take some stress off of this one and this one over here. So anyway, all kind of just food for thought. We got a lot of things to do here, but definitely let me know what you guys think about this whole area so far, what you're thinking for names. I actually haven't read the comments yet. The last episode hasn't gone up yet at the time of recording, so I haven't seen them yet, but definitely leave them in this video and the last video as well. I'll take a look and I'll find some names for our new city and our districts kind of surrounding this whole area. And as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.